In today's video, we're going to review the GG1 of all variants, and I wasn't able to be testing it because of manifest for like this thing as well. I can't believe it that we wasn't able to be testing this out. I cannot absolutely try to start to drive a train around here because I still absolutely going to wanted to do so. And because of the bad news is, it's been a 1 year ago, it's almost like 2 years now, that since my computer had a terrible performance that I don't really believe. This has absolutely got to be a little bit worse. And I'm not very sure this isn't going to get all the way for something like this. As I already reviewed for this from the last time, so this is the GG1 from Pennsylvania Railroad, and it could be for like this train anyways as well. But then that switched like this as well. I cannot believe it. I'm trying to going to start a spawn around here. So that changes to Penn Central. So let's open up here to look around here for the locomotives. And let's go to spawn around here for this time, especially for the manifest trains, the BNSF H1. I'm not going to spawn like either. So let's see a little bit closer. There are a lot of variants. It had total for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is 6 locomotives, 7 locomotives. Totally, it was 8 locomotives. I'm going to spawn out, and let's see. I'm going to take a little bit for one thing. I cannot believe. Let's start one train for this time. This wasn't able to spawn around here, so let me try again for this time. So let's spawn that locomotive. So there we go. But looks like there must be for a huge underworking in progress about for some other kinds of trains. This is a huge work in progress around of this reborn manifest map. But unfortunately, this is absolutely the sign of bad news around here. I should have able to add for one of those sheds, but I cannot able to be spawn them a little bit. So I'm going to spawn a little bit more of these trains and spawn them in. So things are might going to get even louder. That idling locomotives have just gotten even louder that I'm not supposed to. So there must be 3 of them. And I'm going to add 4. So there's more lines around here for this one. I could have been able to spawn a little bit fast. So there is a few more locomotives. Same variants. And probably there must be for some kind of like this. If I move closer, this will get much even more louder than I expected. So I'm going to spawn a little bit more locomotives for this one. So this is another locomotive for this thing. And I'm eventually going to spawn a little bit for one thing. At the front selections around here. This is where the freight trains and the passenger trains are going through, but I'm not actually going to get all the way through around here. So this is the silver locomotive that I'm going to spawn for this. So here is another locomotive is going to be. And another one, the Tuscan Red. And looks like I'm not very sure that the frames per second drops fast from idling locomotives. So I'm just counting all the way for just like this. but I cannot believe it. That wouldn't be so worth it. And so, that is the Penn Central locomotive over here. And that is the entire locomotives. It's not going to be for some sort of a collection. So, the interactives like this should raise this over here. So, if that does not work, and I really guess it's definitely working. So, one of them has just completely raised and lowered down. And I suppose that I should be able to raise them up as a little bit fast as I do. And I can't see it since I wasn't going to be like that. As you can see, one of the trains is going to move forward, one is absolutely moving back. I cannot believe if I move closer to the locomotives, that will be loud, even enough. So let's see closer and look around of these locomotives. It's totally a little bit loud around here, so that must be for Penn Central. Pennsylvania Railroad over here for this one. The silver train. I cannot absolutely believe it. This has got to be a little bit loud. And it's totally worthless around within these trains. I wouldn't be able to see this a little bit closer, but since I wouldn't believe this is actually going to be even worth it. And I know there's a Penn Central locomotive right there for something else. But I was not able to tune for one of the locomotives. And I wasn't absolutely going to be testing around here. So, another test could be the horn test around from all of these variants. And we're going to see their why. So first, let's start with the number 480. And we'll be started to hear from this out. And we wouldn't actually try to do this. In 3, 2, 1, let's start with this one. And this one for multiple of the train horns around here for them so. And turns out, every trains are going to be the same as this. Now all of the train horns are slightly single. Pretty single for all of the locomotives that I shouldn't actually try to do. I wouldn't actually believe that all of these trains have single ones. But I don't believe it. This does sounds like anything making sense around here. Even though these locomotives around here for something else that I wasn't able to tell you something about it. So, what I just try to find out if I'm not going to say about something that I wasn't able to try for something else. So, I guess this thing is going to be needed to change around here because looks like the switchers have currently working around here for something else. But we wouldn't actually going to think around here for one of these locomotives that I shouldn't be able to test it out. The top speed of this train is 84 miles an hour. And all of these trains and classes. And I wouldn't able to be thinking around here for something a little bit for just anyways. And the coaches like the Pennsylvania Railroad trains like these were slightly missing around here, and this definitely does goes to the bad news. But unfortunately, one of the old model trains from the game is gone around here. Because since that their old game was already gone forever due to something kind of like any about for copyrights, and which is totally a bad news for the rest, for the other players. I'm not actually since around here that since the bad news kicked off, and however, when the game is going to be taken down again, then that the Union Pacific, BNSF, and other kinds of railroad companies could actually going to take down Rosekill Sandbox ever again due to the situation that other kinds of the companies could eventually hate, and I'm not very sure this wouldn't actually go on the bin to do so. So the plot is absolutely moved into for some kind of the UI selection. So the Pennsylvania GG1s have already spawned, but I'm going to enable the Omega Town. And so there is still here and beyond of their menus or the UI selections. So the town of the Omega Town is probably here. I cannot able to work in progress. This is not my game. This is absolutely someone's that who made by something else. So I cannot believe, I don't like trees, that this game or my computer wouldn't able to handle it so much. Which is totally a bad news, by the way. And I wouldn't believe this is absolutely going to be troubling for my performance. So that's it for this video around here for this one. And hopefully make sure the link is going to be in the description below, as you'll be checking this out for something else for of this game around here. So thanks for watching, and if you try these of the GG1 locomotives, if you try to do this, like happy editing around here for one of your saves. And also bad news, your saves are gone around here in the old game, and the developers could not able to transfer them. So yes, thanks for watching, for all your support, and I'll talk to you rail fanners all later, and I'll see you in another one.